Good morning, everyone. The art of teaching is the art of awakening minds. And today, even missions are learning how to inspire that awakening. With this thought, I warmly welcome you all to this insightful webinar on Brains and Bots, a new teaching partner. To formally welcome us all and set the tone for today's session, I invite Mrs. N. Asha Devi, Assistant Professor of English, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, the virtual stage is yours.
Respected Principal Dr. N. Suchata, Secretary Sri Lalit Kumar Ojain, our esteemed resource person Dr. Padmapriya, Assistant Professor of English, SRM Valliammai Engineering College. HODs from various departments, dear faculties and my dear students. On behalf of the Department of English, Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College, Minju, I extend a warm welcome Heartily welcome to in everyone joining us today for this webinar on Brains and Bots, a new teaching partner. In an era where technology and education are deeply intertwined, today's session is both timely and significant. Artificial intelligence is no longer a concept of the future. It has become a powerful partner in our classroom, reshaping how we teach, learn, and engage with language and literature. We are truly privileged to have Dr. Padmapriya with us today to share her valuable insights on this transformative topic. With our rich academic experience and expertise, we are sure to gain a deeper understanding of how both can collaborate with brains to enhance the teaching learning process. I welcome all participants attending via StreamYard and YouTube Live. Your presence makes this academic gathering meaningful. I once again welcome our resource person, faculties, and students to this webinar. Let us open our minds to new ideas and explore the exciting possibilities of AI as our new teaching partner. Thank you once again. Welcome you all to this webinar.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. Great introductions are not just about achievements, but about the inspiration a person carries within. To introduce our distinguished resource person, I now invite Mrs. M. Vijayalakshmi, Head of the Department of English, to present the chief guest introduction.
Good morning, everyone. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session, Dr. Padmapriya. Dr. Padmapriya is currently serving as an assistant professor in the Department of English at SRM Valliammai Engineering College, Kattamburattu. She is an accomplished academician with an impressive multidisciplinary background, holding multiple degrees including MA in English and Sociology, MA, MPhil, and a PhD in English, which was highly commended. She has also successfully cleared both the National Eligibility Test and Tamil Nadu State Eligibility Test, reflecting her academic excellence and dedication to the field of education. With over 5 years of rich teaching experience, Dr. Padmapriya has taught in reputed institutions and has contributed significantly to both language and literature studies, as well as soft skills and personality development training under government initiatives. Her research interests are diverse and impactful, focusing on gender studies, war literature, digital spaces, and identity construction. She has published extensively, including Scopus indexed journals, UGC care listed journals, peer reviewed articles, and book chapters. Her scholarly contributions reflect a deep engagement with contemporary issues and critical theory. In addition to her academic achievements, she is also a translator, having translated notable literary works from Tamil to English and is currently working on translating significant theoretical texts. Dr. Padmapriya has presented papers in more than 20 international and national conferences and has actively participated in numerous faculty development programs and workshops, especially in emerging areas like AI in education. Her recent work and lectures beautifully bridge the gap between literature and technology, making her an ideal expert to speak on today's topic, Brains and Boards, a new teaching partner. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished scholar and dynamic educator with us today. Let us extend a warm and hearty welcome to Dr. Padmapriya.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction. In a world driven by algorithm, it is the human mind that gives meaning to intelligence. Now, it is time for the most awaited segment of today's session. It is my honor to invite our esteemed resource person, Dr. Padmapriya, to deliver her keynote address on Brains and Boards, a new teaching partner. Ma'am, we are eager to learn from your insights and experience. The virtual stage is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And good morning, respected dignitaries, my dear colleagues, and my dear students. At first, I would like to thank the management, Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College, uh, the secretary, and the principal, Dr. N. Sujata, and the head of the department, Mrs. M. Vijayalakshmi, for your invitation. And I really thank you for this invitation. Before I begin my session, I would like to ask a question. If possible, ma'am, is it possible for the audience to answer?
Ma'am, via YouTube Live, they can answer, ma'am, through the comments in the YouTube.
They will post the question
Okay, ma'am.
through the comment box. So,
Okay, ma'am.
Uh,
That's yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Can
but you
anyone?
can ask questions, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Can anyone read the questions for answers for me, ma'am? If I pose a question, because I couldn't see.
Yeah, ma'am, wait for a while, ma'am. Wait for a few
Oh,
seconds.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, you can ask question. I will read the answers from the comment, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, before I begin my session, I have a simple question to ask. Uh, have we used ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini in the past 1 month? Anyone? Have you used ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence tool in the past 1 month? It can be today or yesterday or the last week. Have you used it? Yes. Yes, Tarun Kumar. Okay, thank you, thank you. So it is very much evident that we have been using artificial intelligence tool in our day-to-day lives, and we should accept that it has become a routine in our lives. Now, we could understand that the artificial intelligence tools are creating a huge impact in education also, that is in teaching and learning. My next question is, can machines think, or do they help us think better? What do you think? Can machines think? What do you say? Can anyone answer? Can machines think, or they help us to think better? In my opinion, machines, no, they can't think. They can work on algorithms. They can work on, yes, absolutely. Thank you. So they can work on algorithms. They can work on the already provided data. But we can use the machines wisely to help us think better through the previous knowledge that have been uploaded there, that have been already coded. We can use it wisely to make our thinking level better. So, in the context of education, we should understand that education is a constantly evolving process. At first, it was teacher centered, then it has been evolved into student centered, and now we are standing in the stage that the teacher, the student, the teacher centered, the student centered, as well as artificial intelligence is sitting inside the classroom. So we should accept that as a teacher. At first, we should accept that artificial intelligence has already stepped in into the classroom through the usages of artificial tools. So we should accept the shift that the teaching strategies are at first teacher centered, then it has been gradually shifting to learner centered, where the interactions have been happening between the teacher and the student on the context. Now it has become there is a hybrid intelligence is evolving. Now before we teach, the students are using artificial intelligence to understand the concept, or to know, just to know the concept, or even after we teach, the students are using AI tools to learn or understand the concepts they couldn't, or they fail to or we couldn't say fail to, they if they wanted to learn more, they started using artificial intelligence tools like Gemini AI or other stuff. So we should understand that the traditional classroom setup has been changed. At first, it was a one-way knowledge transfer. Now it has become both the teacher and the students are using artificial intelligence tools. The teachers are using AI to understand the learning strategies of the students, to change and update in align with to update and align their teaching strategies. Yes, now we should understand that a new shift is emerging in teaching learning. Let us see what are the functions of brains and what are the bots can do. Brains are known for its creativity, ethics, critical thinking, and empathy, which the bots lacks. So bots, as I already said, the bots works on algorithms. It is processing the data, and it can through personalization we can process the data, but it cannot replace the ethical and empathetic values of the humans. We should understand that first. So I could say that the bots have been created by brains. So it is never a replacement for the teachers. Teachers must understand that, which we will discuss in our upcoming slides. So a teacher at first has to set their mind that AI enhances their learning experiences and teaching efficiency. It is completely not a replacement. It will replace only when we lack the knowledge of artificial intelligence. Because when we are all teachers, we have to align with our students learning strategies. When the students started using artificial tools, it is the teachers it is a teacher who has to learn and who has to create the strategies that align with the students learning. So in the words of John Dewey, he says that if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. Now, I could use one particular phrase here: digital illiteracy. When last year, not now, last year in the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, I had an argument with my colleagues, and they are saying that artificial intelligence is stealing students' critical thinking skills. It's stealing it. It is making the students lazy. They are not understanding. They are just getting the assignments, or they are getting the essays. At a stretch, they are not understanding. There is not a complete understanding is happening with the use of AI. Like that, the argument was happened. But when we see the statistical data in 2024, almost 60% of the students have used artificial intelligence. When we see the data now, it is almost 80 in 2025, 80% of the students are using artificial data. So when we make the students not to use AI, when we make them restrict not to use those tools for learning or any other activities. We are making them digital illiterate. So it is when he or she completes when they complete their degree, when they enter into a job market, it is hard for them to survive. So in that way, when a crowd of 100 people who are upgraded their skills with using artificial intelligence, when 20 of our students fail to understand or fail to work with artificial intelligence, we are making them digital illiterate. So as a teacher, we are responsible for teaching our students uh, the current strategies, the current impacts, the present impacts. So it is our duty to understand, analyze, and work with AI to make the students understand, understand and work with AI to get better results. So it is very much clear that there is a need for this evolving pedagogy, and we teachers are playing a major role in it. Yes. So when we integrate technology in education, when we integrate artificial intelligence in education, which is in teaching learning, we are making a efficient learning and teaching outcomes. We are bringing an efficient teaching and learning outcomes. And we should, as a teacher, we should come out of the mindset that AI is a threat. It is not at all a threat to education, but it is an opportunity to reimagine and restructure the pedagogy. It will not replace the teachers, whereas it will support the teachers. In, for example, we all agree, I think you all agree with me, we teachers are not only doing teaching works, we are doing multiple tasks. So in order to reduce the burden of teachers in doing multiple tasks, artificial intelligence is playing a major role. We should accept that. For example, when you give assignment to the students, we can get assistance from the artificial intelligence, and we can evaluate the assignments in a short period than we used to take in the previous evaluation methods. So in that way, artificial intelligence is not at all a threat. It is an opportunity for a transformation. So we should understand that first. The teacher has to have a mindset that we are teachers, we will be the mentors, and we will be the facilitators. At first, we stand on the stage, and then we are guiding the students by the stage, and then we started learning with the students through this with the impacts of artificial intelligence. We are just facilitating the students how they can use it, what they shouldn't do using the recent transformative tools. So in this way, I could say that AI is always enhancing the teaching effectiveness. So it elevates the roles of teacher. It is not at all a threat. Next, we could see in what ways brains and birds are similar and brains and birds are different. Our human brains are shaped by experience. We learn through experience. We can understand the emotion. Sometimes we can take decisions based on the ethical values. Whereas AI is shaped by data, algorithms, and it cannot act with empathy. It can act only with data. This is where a human brain has to act. So, when there is a need to show empathy, when there is a need to have ethical values, a human brain has to act. So in this way, both the brain and bird can go hand in hand to create a holistic environment. So we should understand that birds are never a competing system. whereas it is a interconnected system that helps us to work better. So yes, as I already said, human learning occurs through experiential and reflective process. We reflect the things we have seen. We reflect the things we have experienced. Whereas AI learning is happening through pattern recognition and training based. AI has a pattern of understanding things. AI has a pattern of analyzing the things, and it is function now. We could accept that now artificial intelligence is evolving and it is working a way better. So when it comes to human decisions, it is always, as I already said, it is always ethical and value oriented, whereas AI decisions are predictive and probably based. And the most important strength of AI here is speed, accuracy, and scalability. For example, as I mentioned earlier, AI is much speed in analyzing the task. I have given you one example, like when you when you conduct a test. You are conducting a test. It is, for example, consider you are conducting a test for 25 objective questions. You are using the Google Sheets, or you using Google Forms to create the test. You are using Google Forms to conduct the test, and immediately the student get the feedback, and immediately the evaluation work has been done. So AI speed, when human brains goes with the speed of the bots, it will give effective results. So there is, we should understand that there is a hybrid intelligence is emerging, which is combining human brains and AI strengths. Yes, we should agree that our future classrooms have been integrated with brains and bots now. For example, whenever you ask a student to write an assignment, they will, in the earlier stages, they will take almost a week or 10 days to submit their assignments. But now they are submitting it even in the next day of even in the next day they are submitting they're submitting faster. So we should understand that students started using AI. Now we teachers have to ask the students in what ways they are using the chatbots to create the assignments or create the essays, and how much their learning outcome was there. In order to do that, we should shift our uh, teaching strategies, which we will discuss in our later slides. Yes, this is what we have discussed in our previous slides. Yes, there is a research. It has been conducted by the researchers. They've given a group of students have been involved in the research. Almost 30 students have been involved in the research. 20 15 students, a part of the students have been used only traditional method. A part of the students have been given AI assisted learning, when in the week one the traditional method helps to get the outcome of 20 percentage, whereas the AI assisted has given 30 percentage. At the end of the fourth week, the traditional teaching through traditional teaching method, 65 percentage of learning outcomes have been found, whereas using AI assisted traditional, along that is the blended, the hybrid intelligence model, has given 90 percentage of learning outcomes. So it is high time we should integrate artificial intelligence in our teaching strategies to understand our students learning strategies. Yes, as I have already mentioned, the teachers are the knowledge providers in the traditional 90 percentage. I could say at least 80% of the knowledge have been um, uh, gained from the teacher by the students. And after that, the role of a teacher is getting transformed. For example, at present, the knowledge delivery is 30%. And with the use of the tools, with the use of the bots, students are learning, and the teachers are acting as facilitators, and they are the knowledge providers, and the students are taking knowledge from the teachers, and they are also learning through the artificial intelligence tools. Now the teacher acts as a facilitator, and they are also acting as a mentor when they are guiding the students how to use it, and why they shouldn't use in this way. And they are also integrating AI in there. For example, we give assignments to the students, right? Write an essay. Any topic will be given, any general topic will be given to the students. We will ask the students to write an essay using artificial intelligence, and we will ask them to correct the essay. We will ask them to critically analyze the essay that have been created by um, uh, the GPTs, the models, and we act as evaluator. So we should understand that the role of a teacher has been transformed. Now they are not merely an information provider. Now they are a mentor, facilitator, and innovator. And I would like to say that most of the time the students think that they are advanced in using the recent technologies, the recent artificial intelligence tools than the teachers. There is a research stating that students have the mindset that they are good at using artificial intelligence tool than their teachers. So it is high time for us to, as a teacher, for us to learn and for us to use and analyze, evaluate the AI tools that have been used for learning and teaching strategies. Yes. So let me see. Let us see how the cognitive load can be distributed among the teachers. So the teachers can use artificial intelligence tools like for their routine tasks. They can do their routine tasks for 30%, and they can make the bots to do the work for 70%. I can give you one example. As a teacher, we enter the class and we take attendance every hour. We That work can be assigned to bots. So it reduces the burden of the teachers. For that, a teacher has to be updated about the tools that can be used. And there are multiple apps that have been developed, and it can help the teachers to track the students' attendance. So, in order to reduce the burden or reduce the cognitive load, we can use the bots. And next, when it comes to analytical tasks, it should be 50-50. The teachers the teachers have to do analytical works like evaluation. Like when it comes to objective, we can feed the answers. When it comes to descriptive answers, we can analyze the essay 50%. When it comes to totaling, we can use the bot to total it. That is the analytical task can be shared by the teacher 50-50 percentage. When it comes to creative task, as I already said, the bots have been created by brains, so it will never replace it will not have it will not has the capability to create like humans. So when it comes to creative task, human brains works for 80%, and 20% of the AI bots can be used to streamline the thoughts, streamline the work. So when a teacher distribute their work in this way, they can focus on important things. For example, they can focus more on research. They can focus more on the teaching, and they can focus more on what truly matters to them than the clerical works or other works. So in this way, artificial intelligence is helping the teachers to reduce their burden. We should understand that and we should use it wisely. Yes, now, as I already said, hybrid intelligence has entered our education, and education becomes efficient and efficient and humane. Yes, we already discussed that education is a dynamic one. It changes. It is evolving. Like from teacher centered to now we are in the era of AI assisted learning. And then we have three major paradigms: traditional, constructivist, and contemporary. Traditional stands for teacher centered, we all know, and constructivist, whereas the interactions have been happening, which is learner centered, and the contemporary at present is AI assisted. So the shift of teaching can be traced like it is learning with the intelligent support through the AI tools. Yes, when in teacher-centered program, teacher acts as a primary knowledge source. At sometimes we teachers have the mindset that when a student that is in teachers and paradigm, teachers are always at the center. They give lectures. From the lectures, the students will take notes and they will gain their knowledge. We will make the students to memorize the concept. We had done in that way. We made the students to memorize and repeat, and we do multiple tests to make the students understand and most of the time remember the concepts. In the teacher-centered approach, the teacher speaks whereas the students listen, and it has been changed into learner-centered, and in where the student explores, the teacher guides. Now it is AI assisted. In that, the student learns, the teacher mentors, and the AI supports both the teacher and the student. So we should accept and we should understand that this evolution in education is all about integration, not a replacement. And through AI bots, we have more opportunities. We have more positive impacts. For example, it supports both the teachers and the students. It creates efficient and responsive classrooms. Even inside the classrooms, we can make the students to get their immediate feedbacks through the test with the immediate results and feedbacks. Okay, let us see the history of AI bots in education. We all think that this artificial intelligence is dominating in the 20th century, but it is not true. It has started in 1940s itself, from Alan Turing. So at first they came as feedback systems, and they started to create content, and now they started to align the content in accordance with the individual needs. That is, personalized contents have been created by the bots. So the AI bots have been used in education as virtual assistants. They have been used for automated, and they have used for grading, that is as evolution tools, and it has been supporting teaching and learning. As I already said, personalized learning is possible because of artificial intelligence tools. That is the content. For example, every student is a seed. We have to understand what kind of a seed are them. They can be, for example, according to their needs, we have to align our contents. We have to uh, align our teaching strategies. These kind of changes can be possible through the effective use of artificial intelligence. Yes, these are the things we have already seen, that most of the time uh, artificial intelligence will be used to get automated assessments like grades, and it reduces the teacher workload. And the most important thing is it simulates one-to-one teaching. It gives individual attention to the learner. That is, a teacher cannot give individual attention to all the students. Imagine a class is having 45 students, and within 1 hour, a teacher cannot give complete attention to students. But when it comes to intelligent tutoring, along with the traditional and blended teaching methods, it can simulate. Uh, it can bring effective results among the learning outcomes. Yes. So this is how the teacher can use, the teachers can split their works, and they can use AI application and bring impact in their work. The most important thing is 24/7 assistance, which was given by chatbots. A teacher cannot be available all the time. So at that time, we can ask the students to rely on chatbots, and they can work, they can get the assistance. And after that, they can we teachers can discuss with the students about its reliability. In that way, we can make use of the artificial intelligence tools in effective in students lives. So we should understand that it this bots empowers teachers to teach better. It will not replace. It is enhancing the human potential. So it has never be a replacement. And there is a data which we have already discussed, like in 2022, the AI usage among students is like around 55 to 60. In 2023 it is 75, in 24 it is 80, and in 2025 it is 95. The students started using it, and we teachers have to understand that we should also implement this method in our teaching learning strategies. And most of the time, we should accept that the students are more comfortable in using artificial intelligence tools because they are getting immediate results. And there is a data which I got it from the recent research. The AI market growth has been drastically increased, and we cannot do anything. We should accept that it is going to be the future, and we have to align our future education with this strategies. Yes. And there is a research which says that 70% of teachers acknowledge that AI is reducing their workload. And they say that they are using, for example, a simple lesson plan can be created using AI. But it is very important that they are not solely depending on the artificial intelligence. They are creating it, they are they are analyzing it, and they are evaluating it. And 72% of the teachers are worried about the concerns about plagiarism and misuse of AI. Yes, it is happening. For example, when I give assignments to my student, as I told earlier, they will submit it immediately. They will submit even the next day of the even the next day. So we wonder that how the student who are all taking time, who will ask for extra time to submit the assignments, now they are submitting it even in the next day. It is because they started using artificial intelligence to, they are using the bots to create the content. So at this time, will we blame the students? If we blame the students, uh, what are the impacts that can be created among the students? And how are we going to handle this situation? Because as teachers, we are worried about their real learning, their real learning outcomes at the end of their uh, learning. For example, when they complete their graduation, if they imagine they have been submitting their assignments only using bots, they are not understanding the concepts, what would happen? They will be they cannot, that is their over reliance will make them dependent on AI. It will reduce their critical thinking skills. So these concerns have to be addressed. So in order to avoid, a teacher can, there are some boards like Turnitin. Now we have Authenticate, Turnitin, and other SEO tools to detect the plagiarism of the assignments submitted. So, as a teacher, in a research, 72% of the teachers have been concerned about the misuse of artificial intelligence by the students. So, we have to teach the students that they shouldn't. It is not ethical. So we can seek the help of the tools, but we should work on it. We can get the idea, but the idea should be expanded, or we can expand it by ourselves. So like that, we have to make the students to understand the things, understand the real impacts that have been created by AI when they rely overly on it. And in that same research, 50% of the teachers taking a neutral tone, like yes, it can be, it can be used, and the students are using it effectively. So the problem here is, as a teacher, our problem is to identify the students who are all misusing the AI. And it is not only about the evaluation, it is about their learning outcomes, it is about their future. What if after completing their degree, what if the students fails to understand the concept and completely relies on the tools? So it will create a havoc in their future. So in order to avoid all these things, as a teacher, we should make the students to use it wisely. We should bring a balanced integration, awareness, and we should give ethical guidance to our students, and how ethically they have to use AI in their learning process. So we should understand, we should accept that AI is a teaching partner to the teachers. So it is not just assisting us, it is redefining our workload. For example, all the workloads. And then it, it, most of the research regarding artificial intelligence in the in the integration of teaching learning, most of the research says that it reduces repetitive and time consuming tasks. It enhances the efficiency and productivity of the teachers as well as the students. So we should understand that the integration of artificial intelligence is creating a smarter classroom, a smarter classroom where the student where the teacher teaches, the student learns, both the teacher and the learner using artificial intelligence to manage their teaching and learning and other tasks. So, one second. Sorry. Let us see some teaching assessment and monitoring tools that can be used for the effective results. As I already said, most of us are using ChatGPT, Gemini, and QReport for creating the content. So the lesson planning and content generation in the sense we should know how to create a content. It is not that we give a prompt and we get the content. We should know, as a teacher, we should know how to create a content with authenticity. And for example, if you upload a document in uh, there is a tool called chat pdf. If you upload a document, if you ask uh, a reasonable questions, if you ask the questions of the answers you needed, it will make your task simple. It will read the pdf and it will give you the answers. In that way we can create authenticated contents, not just the uh, contents that have been given by the gpts like ChatGPT, Gemini or QReport. So, as a teacher, we can use these tools, but we should be aware that how authenticated the content which has been created by us. And when we use it effectively, it will save our preparation time and we will concentrate more on the important works. We have, yes. Next, when it comes to assessment evaluation, as I already said, we have grade scope, Turnitin, quizzes, which will be used for evaluating the objectives. Turnitin can be used for evaluating the assignments. It will now Turnitin as giving plagiarism report for both the content as well as the AI generated content. Most of the time we can rely on these authenticated sources to uh, assess and evaluate the students assignments and essays. So in this way it reduces the workload of the teachers at least 50%. I could say at least 50% it can reduce the workload of a teacher when they go hand in hand with these tools. And then we have another monitoring bots like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams. Yes, we can use Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams to upload the content, and we can make the students to submit their assignments through these platforms. It will help us to track the work on time. Okay, as we have already discussed, the communication and support given by chatbots are it is we cannot, as teachers we cannot give 24/7 support, but the chatbots can do. And for example, we can um, get immediate feedbacks. For example, we are writing, or the students are writing a content, they can use tools like Grammarly or Quillbot to check their grammatical errors. And it improves their communication efficiency. It improves both the teacher and the students. It fulfills both the students and the teachers needs. And we have another tools which can be used for administrative work. They are Notion and Zoho. there are plenty of applications have been uh, functioning in the market. Yes, functioning now. Most of the educational institutions are using these applications to mark the attendance, enter the marks, and they can track. They can able. Sorry, they can track the students' progress at one place. Their every progress can be administered using one tool in a uh, in a in a time. Yes, and then for content creation like ppts, images, videos, we can use Canva, Beautiful AI, even Google Slides. It can give us more attractive contents. The most important thing, a teacher can use, that is for these are in our previous discussion we discussed how we use as teachers, we can use these bots and tools to align or to update our teaching strategies. Now we are going to discuss how these tools can help us in research and academic writing, which will help us help in our professional growth and professional development. When a teacher is doing all the work, they are teaching, they are creating the contents, they are teaching the students, they are evaluating their student assignments, and they are also doing the administrative works. And in addition to that, they have to, when they wanted to concentrate on their research and academic growth, these tools can be used. For example, Zotero and Mendeley. Mendeley can be used for reading, taking notes, and creating a proper reference. I myself experienced these tools, and they are very effective when I did my research, even when I write my research paper. So when we use it, for example, as I have mentioned earlier, chat PDF can be used. For example, if you take, we can take at least 30 minutes to read a research paper, or 1 hour to read a lengthy research paper. But when we upload that research paper in chat PDF, when we ask the relevant questions, we will get the response, we will get the answers. So when by creating the needed contents, we when a teacher has started writing a research paper, and they can use these tools, Zotero and Mendeley, to properly cite their references, to properly align their contents. So, in all the ways, these innovations, that is the innovations and the artificial intelligence, the evolution of artificial intelligence is helping both the teachers and the students. So, in that way, we can make use of artificial tools uh, to have a positive impact in our lives. Yes. So when we let us discuss about the higher order thinking skills. When a teacher is managing the routine tasks with the use of AI, the teacher can concentrate more on critical thinking and problem solving, creativity, and analytical reasoning among the students. And they can also develop themselves. Now, we should understand that this artificial intelligence, this bots, have created a shift in education. Like, at first, it was like what to think. Now, how we are going to think, how to think, and how we are going to blend our brains with the bots, and how the new shift is going to evolve. So these are the concerns of the teachers. And we have already discussed plenty of times, though we use all these tools, we must aware of its ethical use, and we must aware of the balanced integration of AI in teaching and learning. And the most important question we should ask among ourselves and to the students is, are we using AI wisely? If not, how are you going to use it? For example, I'll give you a situation. When a student is when a student is continuously using artificial intelligence tools to create the content, what will you do? How can we how can we stop the student in using stop the students in using artificial intelligence all the time? So we have to rethink our pedagogy. We have to, for example, the solution I thought was, we can make the students use the AI, but we can make them to give critical comments on it. We can make them to create contents using different types of bots, different type of, for example, when we give one essay topic to the students, we can ask them to create content using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude AI, or other AI tools, and we can ask them to compare. We can ask them to write their comments, their critical comments. So in that way, we can make the students understand the effective usage of AI. And the next immediate concern is academic integrity and data privacy in using AI tools. As we have already discussed, over reliance on AI tools we couldn't say that it will completely destroy their critical thinking skills, but when they use it continuously, when the students or even the teachers, when we use it continuously, we'll be completely dependent on AI. We will stop uh, using our brains to create the content. So it should be avoided. And then learning is a process. It is not a immediate output. So we should understand that. We should make the student understand that learning is always a process. It is not about an immediate output. Next, data privacy. Yes, it is a concern, and most of the time there is a risk of data breaches and misuse. And we are giving. I think everybody will accept that we have been given free artificial intelligence tools, and most of the time they are saying that it is to train uh, the bots. By giving them free, we are it is a training session for the bots, and there is a we accept the terms and conditions about the data we provide. So there is a need for ethical governance. In my opinion, there is a need for ethical governance about our data privacy. So it is one of the major concerns in using artificial intelligence. So we should avoid more personal and more confidential informations, sharing our informations to AI bots. And AI can create bias. It cannot. We couldn't say that it is not completely understanding the cultural and socioeconomic inequalities, but it cannot. We should accept that um, it lacks cultural and socioeconomic details. It can create it can create contents that may affect a group of a group of people, a group of ideologies. So there is a bias in there is a bias, and we should use it wisely, right? And then, as we already discussed, over dependence, it will reduce the problem solving and critical thinking skills. And it is acceptable that AI lacks empathy and emotional intelligence, and it cannot replace human connection. So most of the time, in the modern living systems, living patterns, there is a risk of losing human touch in everything, especially in teaching, when we rely more on AI, when the student rely more on uh, AI in learning. So it should be a balanced approach. These are the things that we have discussed, and I would like to emphasize more on um, plagiarism, dehumanization, and job anxiety here. And these tools creates creates the contents which is not original. So we have to redesign our assignments method. As I've said, we have to make the students to analyze the bots itself, analyze the contents created by bots itself. And then uh, dehumanization. For example, they are we all know it functions through algorithms. So the solution here is teacher centered approach. For example, we have to a teacher centered approach, in the sense, it is not that a teacher should give knowledge to a student has to imbibe knowledge only from the student. It is that a teacher should facilitate, a teacher should guide the students. And then job anxiety, when the massive usage of artificial intelligence have come, most of the we would have heard the news, like most of the corporation companies are laying off their employees. But we should understand that we should upskill ourselves. We should go hand in hand with the evolution that is happening. So the only way is to train ourselves and upskill ourselves um, to have a effective results. So the future of education is going to be like this. Yes, the future of education have created a triadic model where human intelligence, and that is brains, artificial intelligence, bots with ethical intelligence will create a future classroom, and it is going to be a new learning system. For example, through human intelligence, that is, the brains can do critical thinking, emotional intelligence, moral reasoning, and creativity. It is it stands with ethics and empathy, whereas artificial intelligence can be uh, used to have data analysis, automation, and personalized creation of contents, and it has predictive capabilities. It can be used for its speed, precision, and data driven insights. When both are giving hand in hand, as a teacher, we should balance both through the responsible use of AI and the transparency and accountability in their teaching learning strategies and evaluation techniques. So we should understand that now the teacher is a mentor, facilitator, and they are creating contents, and they are the designer of learning experiences. And now the students are active, self directed, and lifelong learners. When both of them are combining hands with artificial intelligence, there is a transformative learning environment is happening. So the integration of technology in teaching can bring a new learning ecosystem. And I would like to say that The future of teaching is not artificial, it is augmented, ethical, and deeply human, but when we use it wisely. So, our brains are giving meaning. We can take the speed from the boards. With that partnership, uh, uh, we can create our education, which is teaching and learning, more effective. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you. Once again. As college students, how can we identify which AI tools genuinely improve learning instead of simply making us dependent on shortcuts? Yes. So, thank you for the question. Exploring is the only way to identify which works better. You should explore. For example, we have plenty of tools. As I've already told you, for example, take ChatGPT and Gemini, Perplexity. You're going to create a content using these three tools. But when you use ChatGPT, you will get in my experience, I'm saying, you will get clear content. But uh, there will be less authenticity can be found. When we use Gemini, the same content can be created. In that also, there will be less authenticity. But when you compare the responses given by ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity, most of the time it will give information from the sources, and you have to give a proper prompt to create your content at first. Giving a proper prompt will give you the correct answer. So you can create content using all the three platforms. You have to sit and analyze those responses, and you have to evaluate it. Then only you can understand which will work better. And in my opinion, most of the time, um, uh, artificial intelligence is not 100% giving accurate results. It gives data, and it is our duty to it is up to us to analyze the data. In that way, you can find which one is better. Okay. Next question is, in your opinion, what is the future relationship between human intelligence and artificial intelligence in classrooms? Yes, it's a wonderful question. The future relationship, I could say the present relationship, because most of my students are using um, the artificial intelligence tools in our teaching learning process. This is what I said earlier. When a teacher enters into the classroom, teachers have to be aware that a student and a teacher and the artificial intelligence tools are inside the class. So we cannot go away with it. We cannot. It is that AI is playing a major impact in students' learning process. So it would be a in my opinion, if we use it correctly, if we know how to use it wisely, it will bring a harmonious uh, impact inside the classrooms. Next question. In a future where AI can teach faster than humans, what qualities of a teacher do you believe technology will never be able to replace? So, thank you for the question. Uh, AI can teach faster than humans. In that, it may be an assumption. But in my opinion, it can give faster results, but it cannot teach faster. In my opinion, um, but I would like to answer the next part of the questions. What qualities of a teacher do you believe technology will never be able to replace? That is the empathy, and the concerns, the ethical concerns cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence tools. In my opinion, uh, for example, when an assignment has been given by the teacher, when a student fails to submit, when a student the emotional stage, the emotional uh, things can only be understood by the teacher, not by the technology or by the boards. They cannot do it. Is there any other question?
No, ma'am. No other questions, ma'am.
Okay.
So, as we wrap up today's session, I'm sure each one of us is taking back something valuable. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire, says William Butler Yeats. With the beautiful thought in mind, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our respected management and principal for their continuous support and encouragement in organizing such a meaningful session. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Padmapriya, for a truly inspiring and thought provoking session on brains and boards, a new teaching partner. Ma'am, your insights have given us a new perspective on the future of learning. My sincere thanks to Mrs. M. Vijayakshmi ma'am, Head of the Department of English, and Mrs. M. Asha Devi ma'am, Assistant Professor of English, for their valuable contributions in making today's session so impactful. I would also like to appreciate all the organizers and participants. Your presence and involvement have made this session a great success. When brains and boards work together, the future of education truly becomes limitless. Thank you all for being a wonderful audience. Have a great day. Ma'am, we had shared a feedback link. The audience through YouTube Live, kindly fill the feedback link and get your e-certificate.
Ma'am, shall I leave the meeting?
Yeah, ma'am, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.